The following is an exclusive presentation of Ravens Productions.
Football is back. The calendar has turned to September, and that means the regular season is here. On this week's Ravens Report, we sit down with D-tackle Brandon Williams and head coach Coach Harbaugh to discuss Sunday's matchup. Plus, this season marks Ozzie Newsome's last as general manager, and we go back to where it all began. All that and more coming up on this edition of Ravens Report. Football is finally back. Welcome to the 2018 edition of Ravens Report from the Under Armour Performance Center. I'm Erin Hawksworth. The Ravens open the season with the Buffalo Bills Sunday at home. Baltimore is coming in hot. I know it was only the preseason, but the Ravens went 5-0 and will look to continue the momentum into the regular season. Now games count for real, and it's a chance to see some of the new additions on offense, like Michael Crabtree, John Brown, and Willie Snead. The defense, however, remains the same, and that's a good thing, considering they led the league in takeaways last year and return all 11 starters. The Ravens defense also allowed the second fewest yards in the league during the preseason, so a strong start already from the defense. One of the key pieces on defense is the big man in the middle. Our own Evan Washburn sat down with nose tackle Brandon Williams as the Ravens get ready to kick off the new season.
Everything that we've done up to this point from a work standpoint is behind us. We're ready to go, man. We're excited. It's what we stand on, and it's our launching point.
Is there a sense of relief that the regular season is finally here?
Oh, definitely. There's a sense of relief. I mean, we've been at it for 5 weeks. You know, we got an extra game in the beginning, and we also traveled to 2 different cities to, play 2 different teams, and now we actually get to go out there and hit somebody else, and it actually means something, go out there and, put a W on the record board and, get things started off right.
Knowing what you'd done last year and what you had coming into this season, what were your priorities in terms of a group and what you wanted to get out of training camp in the preseason?
The biggest thing is finishing, coming in, ready to go for another year, because obviously last year didn't end so well. We carried that taste over, and we got to get it out of our mouth, and the only way to get that out is getting a W. So we got to go out there this Sunday and give it everything we got.
For you, 5 years under your belt now in this league, and you came into this organization at a unique time. It was right after Super Bowl. You obviously were a high pick, but people didn't really know who you are, and I think you've become one of the identifiable faces of this team and this organization, but you haven't tasted probably as much success as you would want. How much has that driven your sense of urgency heading into this year?
It drives it a lot, but at the same time, I feel like I'm still successful. I mean, as a team, we're still successful because we're still here, we're still grinding. It's not like we're not out there doing everything we got. It sucks to end the way we did. Coming this year, you want to put it all out there. You want to leave it all on the field. You want to get your guys together and go to war. And we started off right with this preseason with 5-0, and we want to keep it going.
Continuity in the NFL is rare. You get all 11 starters back. This is a defense that is deep and talented. How does that drive your expectations as a group for what you can do?
Through the roof, actually, because, like you said, we got everyone coming back. We've got, all hands on deck, and we have some new talent and some new players and some players that were going to do some great things for us. It's, excited to see what we can do this year, so I'm excited to get Sunday going.
When you look at this unit, and you're a man that can turn a phrase, if you would hope for folks to describe this defense with one word, what do you think would be an appropriate one?
Wow. I just want to see shock and awe on people's faces when they see us out there playing.
Wow. I thought you were saying wow to my question because it was that good.
No, that's what I want to see, like us flying around the ball, us hitting people, us just doing what we do as Ravens, just bringing back that old swagger. Just want to see people just say, wow, just silence and just awe of what we do.
Well, the man running this show is Don Wink Martindale, and I think Ravens fans are going to probably enjoy getting to know his personality as a play caller and a leader. If you had to point to a difference, though, in what he's brought to this unit this year, what would it be?
He brings everything to the table. He's got a great mind. He's got a great scheme. He's got coaches that will follow him anywhere, and he's the captain. He's the captain of the defense. Everyone else is just his soldiers, and but when we get on that field, we're the captains on that field, and that's what he gives us. He gives us that relaxation and that authority to go out there on the field and run the show. Not us run the show, but
ownership.
Yeah,
it was
it
something
gives
that came up
ownership,
in the preseason. We were covering the transition to Wink was that players felt almost empowered by not the control that he allowed you guys to have,
Right.
but the knowledge that he had that once this game started, it's yours to run.
Exactly, and that shows out in practice. I mean, we're practicing next man up, everything like that, and the way we practice with everyone else is just how much his mind is just soaking through us, and then we're getting everything, and we're playing faster than ever.
Buffalo Bills, early impression. They've got a young quarterback, something I know this defense always appreciates a chance to feast on. What concerns you about this unit?
Obviously, their talent at running back. They got some wide receivers that you can do a great job up top in the air, and they got good O-line. So, I mean, we're prepared to go out there and have a battle. We're prepared to go out there and give everything we got. I mean, we know they're not no slouches coming in. They were a playoff team and we weren't. We were tied and they won the tie. So obviously they did something better than we did. So we can't come out here and just roll our helmet on the field. We got to go out and play hard.
Brandon, I know it's felt like a long time. Enjoy getting back out there. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon.
Give us McGahee, flips it back to Flacco. He's got Bolden wide open in the end zone, and it's a touchdown! Anquan Bolden!
This Sunday's legend of the game, Anquan Bolden, helped spark a comeback victory over the Bills back in October of 2010. Todd Heap had 2 touchdowns, and Willis McGahee added another score. On defense, Ed Reed intercepted 2 passes as the Ravens rallied in the second half to beat the Bills 37-34 in overtime. Still to come on Ravens Report, we sit down with John Harbaugh to discuss the 2018 Ravens and the challenges of facing the Bills on Sunday.
Everyone talks about greatness like it happens all at once. Like in one single moment, it belongs to the person who wants it more. Like it comes packaged up in riches and rings, fortune and fame. Like if you want it badly enough, you can wish it into existence. But greatness, it's about more than just wanting it more. It's about never giving less.
The Ravens have a tough schedule to start the season. 2 games in 5 days, and 4 of the first 6 games are on the road. Baltimore must set the tone early and get off to a fast start. Part of the plan throughout training camp was to have the Ravens healthy heading into the regular season, and for the most part, they are. Even with a tough schedule, the good news is, under head coach John Harbaugh, the Ravens are 5-1 in home openers and 15-2 all-time in September games played in Baltimore. Garrett Downing sat down with Coach Harbaugh as he embarks on his 11th season with the Ravens.
Coach, thanks for joining me. I know it's a really busy week for you. You just finished the longest training camp and preseason. It's a grind for all of us. I can only imagine what it's like for you. As you prepare for this week, what is week 1 like for head coach?
Oh man, guys, that's a tough question.
It's a big question, yeah.
It's probably just like it is for everybody else. I think even for the fans and for the media, I mean, we are excited. Can't wait to get started. We've been at this a long time. Guys have been here for a long time, and you try to take every day as it comes and have the best day you can possibly have. But you do get a little anxious. It's like, okay, let's be done with this. Let's go play the game. Let's get started on the next thing. And I know our guys are excited about that, and so am I.
I'm curious what you learned about your team throughout these last 6 weeks.
Well, I learned they'll keep coming every day in a long training camp. I mean, our guys worked really hard, and our guys didn't flinch, didn't bat an eye. I never heard one guy say, hey, it's too long. I think we did a good job of pacing the training camp, and our guys worked hard and got better every day. We're as good a football team as we can be right now. We couldn't be any better than we are right now. We'll find out how good that is. But that's what you feel good about as a coach. And now let's go, let's put the irons in the fire and see what happens.
There's a lot of buzz about the offense, and I think there's more excitement around the offense than I can remember in a while. Of course, Joe is healthy. There's the new targets that we're all talking about. There's intriguing new rookies. What has you excited about the offense?
Well, I'm excited too. I mean, I'm excited because I feel like we can make plays. I think we can make plays and score points. And you never know how it's going to come. We've had Joe for the whole training camp. We've had all of our guys for the whole training camp. So we've had a chance to build plays. We've had a chance to build schemes and ideas and different things as a coach that you want to utilize. We're not just, we're not in basic mode right now, which we really were for at least the first half of the season last year. So we're way past where we've been before. Now I want the guys to go out and play. I want to go see these guys do their thing, and we just basically open the gates and let the Bulls run. And let's see what happens.
The thing that really strikes me in leading up to this game is that when I hear Joe talk, he seems confident, really, really confident. There's been so much discussion around him and this offense. How have you seen him handle all of that throughout the offseason and getting to where we are right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gone to work. I think he's gone to work, and because he's done that, he's built confidence and kind of rapport with those guys where he feels good on the field about what they're going to do, and they know where the ball is going to be. So, that's where confidence comes from. It comes from doing it, and the more you do it, the more confident you get in it, and that's where he's at right now.
I'm not sure how much attention you paid to the outside noise this week, but there's a lot of talk about the quarterbacks. Not just Joe, but RG3, Lamar Jackson. I saw a report from NFL Network earlier this week that said RG3 is the backup. Then I saw a report from the NFL Network that said Lamar Jackson is the backup. So between us, how are you planning to handle the quarterbacks on Sunday?
That gives me a great opportunity to say, we'll see.
Oh, okay, I didn't think
Since we got reports on both sides, I could just say, well, we'll just see who's right. I don't know which reporter's right. But we'll find out which guys got the better sources, I guess.
Yeah, we will find out. I also want to find out about your defense, because we are all so focused on the offense that it's almost kind of like the defense somehow in Baltimore has flown under the radar. But this is a group that's bringing back just about everybody from last season, and they led the NFL in turnovers last year. So what do you expect from this group?
I expect our defense to be great, and I hope great's an understatement when it's all said and done. That's the expectation. We're not afraid of that. You got to go out and do it. I mean, we're not sitting here saying, hey, we're talking big talk. You got to walk the walk. Our guys have walked the walk every day. Let's go walk the walk on Sunday and every Sunday or Monday after that. That's the plan. Let's throw a Thursday in there too while we're at it, right? So I'm excited about our guys, and I have high expectations for our defense.
Nice. Well, we can't wait to see them get on the field on Sunday. Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Garrett. Enjoyed it.
For the last month, the Ravens have been preparing for life on the gridiron, but the organization has also been focused off the field as well. This summer, the Ravens spent considerable time and effort to provide a safe, fun place for kids to play after school. It's all part of the Ravens' 2018 Signature Project. The organization teamed up with Kaboom and the Baltimore Housing Authority to help build a special playground for kids in one Baltimore City neighborhood.
We decided earlier this year that for our signature project, we wanted to build a playground. We thought that it was just an incredible opportunity to help some deserving kids in this community. We decided to team up with our partners, Kaboom.
Kaboom is the national nonprofit dedicated to ensuring that all kids get the balance and active play they need. We're here with over 200 volunteers to build a playground in just under 6 hours.
Projects like this are very important to the community because just the different stressors in our environment and our communities, a playground is a safe haven.
The playground that we're building here is unique to the wants and needs of the kids in this community. We're so excited to be partnering with the Baltimore Ravens for the 4th time. It's just a great way to have an opportunity to work directly with community members to build this brand new playground.
We really hope that it gives them an opportunity to just play and be kids. With everything that they have on their plates today, the opportunity to just go out and have fun and play on a playground, we believe is really important and hopefully really impactful.
Kaboom and the Baltimore Ravens, together, we're dedicated to making a difference.
Still to come on Ravens Report. This year marks an end to Ozzie Newsome's tenure as Ravens general manager. In Ozzie, we trust, has held true over the years. We head back to where it all began for the only GM in Ravens history. Welcome back to Ravens Report. I'm Erin Hawksworth. Not many NFL teams can claim they've had one general manager during the team's entire existence. The Ravens can. Over the years, Ozzie Newsome has drafted 22 players in the first round that have combined for a total of 60 Pro Bowl nominations. In Baltimore, "In Ozzie we trust" isn't just a saying. For 22 years, it's been the foundation of the Ravens franchise, the first African-American general manager in NFL history. Ozzie's humble, hardworking style was developed long before his time in Baltimore. It was a young football player catching passes at the University of Alabama.
It would be an understatement to say Ozzie Newsome has had a big part in the success of the Baltimore Ravens. All the Pro Bowlers, the Hall of Famers, division titles, and of course, the 2 Super Bowl championships. As large of a role as Ozzie has played in the history of the Baltimore Ravens, his journey to becoming one of the top general managers in recent history didn't start in Baltimore, or even in Cleveland, where he was a Hall of Fame tight end for the Browns for 13 seasons. No. It started in Alabama as a young football player with a legendary coach.
Football is, in many ways, the state of Alabama. When you ask somebody to talk about the great players in the history of the University of Alabama, immediately folks say Joe Namath, Kenny Stabler. But on that list, there's always Ozzie Newsome. And Ozzie might be 1, 2, 3, depending on how you like to categorize things. If the ball was in his zip code or in his area code, he'd make the play. Nobody ever outworked him. There might be some who say, well, I worked as hard, but nobody ever outworked the man.
He was an amazing football player. He was obviously a tremendous athlete, a great receiver, had amazing hands. During his tenure there, he was All-SEC a couple of times, consensus All-American. Just a great player. He still holds a lot of the records from the tight end position at the University of Alabama as far as receptions.
He is as much a part of the University of Alabama as is a Nick Saban, as is a Bear Bryant, as are any of the players who've played, and he wears that crimson and white logo as proudly as he wears the purple, gold, and white of the Ravens.
When you come from a program that is so tradition heavy, like the University of Alabama, with all the All-Americans that have been there before. And I think it's touching for those guys. I came from a tradition-rich location that invested in me enough to let me be successful on the football field.
Success at Alabama is defined by winning, specifically winning national championships. For nearly 3 decades, Alabama dominated college football. 6 national championships, 13 SEC titles, led by a man who impacted his players both on and off the football field. A man who can be identified by a single item, a houndstooth fedora.
Not a week that goes by that I don't speak to someone maybe that played for Coach Bryant that still carries life lessons with them. And he was really, he was a coach, he was a father figure, he was hard on them, he loved them, he did so much for them as individuals in a personal level. That they just impacted their lives.
He always talked about, can you every day go out to work to get 10% better? And that's not a lofty goal to try to get 10% better, but it keeps you from getting complacent. And he taught us to treat people like you want to be treated. It was things like that, little things, that helped mold me as a person. But not only me, all the other players that were playing there, because when I'm around former players who played under him, we all, sing from the same songbook.
When you have somebody like Coach Bryant who has such a strong structure and culture that he creates in an organization, it impacts you personally and everything that you do. Understanding football to the level and being interested in football to the level that he has been and the success that he's had probably all goes back to some of those lessons that he learned as a player here under Coach Bryant.
Still to come on Ravens Report. The Ravens know that with 4 of their first 6 games on the road, they have to get off to a fast start at home against the Bills on Sunday. We break down Sunday's game next. Single game tickets are now on sale. Reserve your tickets now for the 2018 season. Get your tickets at 410-261-RAVE or BaltimoreRavens.com. Welcome back to Ravens Report. I'm Erin Hawksworth. Both the Ravens and Bills finished last season at 9-7. Let's take a look at how each team ranked at the end of the season. The big difference was on the defensive side of the ball. The Ravens finished 12th overall and number 1 in turnovers. A lot has changed over the last 6 months, but it should be a close game on Sunday. The big storyline this offseason has surrounded the Ravens' new offensive weapons. But don't forget, the Ravens also get Marshall Yanda back from injury. His return should shore up the offensive line and help protect Joe Flacco. The Ravens host the Bills in Week 1, a team that made the playoffs a year ago after Baltimore lost to Cincinnati in Week 17. The Ravens lead the overall series 4-3 and are 4-1 at home at M&T Bank Stadium. Here's Garrett Downing with the preview.
Kickoff week has arrived. Baltimore will welcome the Buffalo Bills to M&T Bank Stadium Sunday at 1 p.m. and the Ravens are heavy favorites on opening weekend. Buffalo comes to town with second-year quarterback Nathan Peterman making the third start of his career. Now, in the first start of his career last season, Peterman threw 5 interceptions in the first half. So you know that the Ravens' ball-hawking defense will be out to continue that trend Sunday in the debut of new defensive coordinator Wink Martindale. Now, the big story for the offense this summer has been that the passing game is much improved. Joe Flacco is healthy and surrounded by a talented new group of targets. Flacco's confidence right now is sky high. You can tell that. And the Ravens are eager to see what these new weapons can do in a real game. There's reason for optimism this year. Returning to the playoffs is absolutely the goal here in Baltimore, and the Ravens believe they have the team to do it. Now we'll get our chance to see the Ravens in action when that ball kicks off Sunday at 1 p.m.
Under Coach Harbaugh, the Ravens own the NFL's third best home winning percentage at M&T Bank Stadium. The Ravens will look to get the 2018 season off to a good start, and they'll have to play well, as 6 of the first 9 games are against playoff teams from 2017, including the Bills. Enjoy Week 1. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week on Ravens Report.